Jessica, and I'm here to share with you, and grown-ups too, some important safety rules for you to follow while you're staying with us in the hospital. We know kids love to explore, move fast, and keep busy, but even while you're having fun, we must all work together to keep you safe, whether you're at home, in the car, and even while you're in the hospital. When people don't follow safety rules, they can get hurt. So we're going to teach you 6 hospital safety rules to follow. It's going to be lots of fun learning about these rules, so let's get started. I've asked the hospital's very special friend, Safetysaurus, to help me teach you about safety. She came to stay at the hospital because she practices good safety habits and wants to teach you to be safe too. As you can see, Safetysaurus is a dinosaur, and although she doesn't talk, she's very, very smart. She wears a bright yellow star that lights up every time she sees a child following a safety rule. Safetysaurus wants you to remember to think safety, act safely. She remembers this saying every day to help her be safe. We're going to be following Annie, a new patient, and watching her as she learns each hospital safety rule. Safetysaurus will be with Annie to help, so watch for Safetysaurus' star to light up when she sees Annie acting safely. Annie and her mother should be arriving at the hospital any minute. There they are, coming through the front doors of the hospital now. Annie's told us that she's really excited to meet Safetysaurus and to learn some hospital safety rules. The first thing Annie will do while staying in the hospital is to have an ID armband put around her wrist, just like you. So let's begin with the first rule. ID armbands must always be worn while you're staying in the hospital. Your armband has important information for your doctors and nurses and everyone who takes care of you. It has your name, age, doctor's name, and what room you are staying in. Your armband is there so everyone will know they have the right person when you get your medicine and meals. Okay, so now you know rule number 1. Always wear your ID armband. Easy. Let's move on to rule number 2. Always walk in the hospital. Walking in the hospital is very important so we don't knock down other patients and visitors, bump into furniture, or trip and fall. Just like Safetysaurus and Annie are doing now as they walk through the hospital. Now let's learn rule number 3. Always have your side rails up while on beds, carts, and wagons. What do you think might happen if we don't follow rule number 3? You could fall out of your bed. You can hit your head and hurt yourself.
If you have an IV, you can pull it out as you fall. You can get cuts and bruises by falling.
When Safetysaurus rides in her wagon around the hospital, she always checks to see that her side rails are up, so she will be very safe and secure in her wagon. So what does Safetysaurus want all of us to remember? Think safety, act safely by keeping your side rails up on beds, carts, and wagons.
Wait a minute. This is just for little kids, right?
Wrong. This is for everybody.
This brings us to rule number 4. Always buckle up in your wheelchair. This is a very important rule for you to follow. So remember to listen for the click of your buckle before your wheelchair starts to move. When you are riding in your wheelchair, and most of our patients get to, well, we don't want you to take any chances of falling out or sliding down into your seat. Wearing your seatbelt will help to keep you safe. We have only 2 more safety rules for you to follow, and you're doing great. On to rule number 5. When playing in your room or in the playroom, never climb on furniture or window ledges. Accidents can happen if we climb on chairs, furniture, window ledges, or ID poles that were not meant for us to stand on. What would you do if you wanted a toy on the very top shelf and you couldn't reach it? Let's watch and see what Annie does when she sees something on the very top shelf and she would like to have it to play with. What does she do? Oh, she takes a chair and she steps on it to lift herself up in order to reach for the toy. Right? No, wrong. Annie should ask an adult to reach for the toy on the shelf. Remember, you need to always think safety, act safely. Our last rule we need to follow is rule number 6. Always look for wet floors so you don't slip and fall. Sometimes things spill on the floor when we are eating or washing our hands. If you spill something on the floor, you should tell a grown-up so it can be cleaned up right away. Just like Annie's doing. Annie's ready to leave the hospital now. She's had a very safe stay. Thanks, Annie, for all your help. Bye, Annie. Now you know all 6 hospital safety rules made just for you while you're staying in the hospital. If you follow these rules, you'll be a safety star. That's what Safetysaurus wants all of us to be. She cares about everyone who comes to stay at the hospital, and that's why she wants you to always think safety, act safely.